Good day, everybody. It's Michael Levitis from JurisQ.com, a legal network where we bring you different experts in different fields, attorneys from various spheres to answer frequently asked questions on law. And we have a brand new participating attorney, Herbert Lawrence. Herbert, welcome to our network. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And the first thing I want to do, as usual, I want to introduce you to our audience. I want your personality to come out, who you are, your experience, what made you get into law, get into personal injury, because what you do is you practice personal injury, you advocate for clients who got into car accidents, slip and falls, and you advocate for them against the insurance companies to maximize their compensation. We'll get into all that, but first tell us, Herbert, we know you are licensed in the state of New Jersey. Can you tell us where your practice is located and how you got on this path to be an attorney?
All right, our practice is located in Elizabeth on Elizabeth Avenue. That's in Union County. I got into law almost by accident.
Okay.
Basically, my mother told me that's what I should be doing, and of course, as a young man, you don't want to listen to your mother. But somewhere down the line, as it became much closer to making a choice, I painfully realized that she was absolutely right, because it sounded like an enjoyable profession. It gave you a lot of choices of what to do.
Sure.
So I actually applied very late to law school, and was fortunate enough to get into Seton Hall University School of Law.
That's a great school.
And I attended. I actually made a choice. I was an graduate from Rutgers, but Rutgers turns out more theoreticians, and Seton Hall, at least at the time, turns out practitioners. And I wanted to practice law, not teach law in the sense of to law students.
And how did you set on the path of becoming a personal injury attorney? There's so many practice areas out there: criminal law, real estate, family. Why personal injury?
Well, we had in the law school, as most law schools have, a competition between all of the students, which would be about 130, 40 students. And it was basically an appellate argument that you would be against all of your fellow students. That competition wheedled everything down to the last 4 participants. I was one of the fortunate last 4 participants. And how I got there was that they would have arguments one-on-one before actual judges. And the judges, usually 2 or 3, would make a determination of who won that competition. So you can figure out, with 130 students, I had to have an awful lot of arguments that I was fortunate enough to win. Once I won that, even though it's called an appellate type of competition, I realized that my strength was talking to a jury, not just talking to judges. And I decided that that's where I wanted to go, to trial work, basically because, one, I obviously seemed to be good at it, but secondly, it sounded like an awful lot of fun.
Okay, very good. And not only it's fun, Herbert, it's not only fun, but it's also very productive and useful for your clients, because you actually make sure that they get compensated for their injuries after they've been into some kind of an accident, a car accident, or they slipped and they fell and they were injured. After all these years, I'm not going to give away your age now, but we know you have years of experience behind you. How do you still stay not jaded? How are you still so passionate about advocating for your clients?
Well, it's my nature. I'm very competitive. My wife complains about my competitive nature. We may have a group of people over playing a particular game,
Mhm.
they're interested in conversing. I'm interested in trying to win.
Mhm.
Because my philosophy is, if you're going to play the game and you don't play it to win, why are you playing?
I love it.
And not that a lawsuit is a game, it certainly isn't, but it's competition, and I don't like to lose ever.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very good quality to have in an attorney. That's the kind of attorney you want to have by your side when you're trying to prosecute your claim against the insurance company. And speaking of insurance companies, you told me before off camera that before, early in your career, you used to work for the bad guys. You worked actually for insurance companies, but then at some point you decided to switch to what you do now. So what drove you to make this big decision to switch sides?
I was with, and I won't use the name, but one of the premier insurance companies in the United States. And I tried all of their cases in Monmouth County, New Jersey.
Mhm.
And I did that for 2 years. At the end of 2 years, I happened to have the best won lost score, so to speak, in all of the company.
Impressive.
But I wasn't very satisfied because I don't find satisfaction saving money for a big corporation
Mhm.
and not giving it to somebody who was injured.
Right.
So I realized that though I was successful, I didn't enjoy the success. I would be much more happy representing people who are injured and getting them a fair result
Right.
rather than what I was doing. So I quit and I started on the other side.
Very good. And I certainly applaud you for it. Look, thank you so much for introducing yourself to our audience. I look forward to working with you to educate the public on the details of personal injury law. We're going to have many sessions with you, educating the people of the good state of New Jersey how to get compensation if you were in a car accident, whom to sue, how to pick the best possible personal injury attorney. We're going to talk about if you were a driver, if you were a passenger if a car got hit. We're going to talk about types of insurances and how they relate to you getting compensation or settlement for your injuries. We're going to talk about if you were a pedestrian, if you were in a taxi, in a truck, if you were in an Uber. All that has different consequences and different details surrounding it. So we're gonna come back to you more and more for your wise advice on what to do. And of course, we're here to educate. If anybody has specific questions on their case, on their injury, on their accident, you're more than welcome to call Herbert Lawrence. At the bottom of the screen, we're gonna have the phone number of Herbert. You can call and you can schedule a consultation to discuss your case. Herbert, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to bring you back shortly for another session on types of compensation available. We're going to talk about if you were in a car accident, what can you get compensated for? Your injury, your pain, your suffering, lost wages, all that. Thank you so much. Until next time. Take care, everybody.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.